welcome everyone. My name is Apollo or Daniel Chacon. I work for the Lisa Ann Rushburn Foundation as the assistant director. Many of you probably know me throughout the camp. I've been part of camp for, gosh, over 10 years and been leading camp with our camp directors, various camp directors throughout the year. It is a big sigh of relief that I am able to finally introduce our camp director. He was actually our camp director last year, but some of you may have not had a chance to meet him as last year was his first year and we had to go virtual. But Chris Bridger, also known to many of our campers as Rocks, is our 2021 camp director. And he's here with me today to answer all of your questions and to go over a short presentation with you all about how we are rolling out Champ Camp both virtually and in person. So before we get into it, I'm going to turn it over to Chris. And he's going to kind of go over some of the highlights regarding COVID and talk about how camp is going to be different for this year.
All right, thank you, Daniel. So hello, everybody. Nice to meet and see many of you. Know all of your campers, so it's great to see you on the call. So just a couple of things that we wanted to kind of go over was obviously what this year is going to look like. So to give a little brief kind of background, you know, when we first started looking at what this year was going to look like and if we had the possibility of hosting camp in person again, as always, the number one priority for us was the safety of your campers, number one priority. So we reached out to our local county health department here, and basically everything that we'll go over was guidance from either the CDC or ultimately our Fresno County Department of Health, which is basically following CDC and state health department guidelines. So the big thing kind of starting into preparation and before camp, everything we're going to go over is on our communicable disease plan, which is accessible through the Burn Foundation's website. So we encourage all of you to take a look at that, and you can access it through the foundation's website. So if there are further questions after tonight, please reach out to us so we can make sure that we answer anything that might come up after tonight as well. So the first thing that we're going to ask for all of you coming into camp, we understand that at this point, it's 16 years and over are the only ones that are eligible for vaccinations. So prior to anybody arriving at camp, both campers and counselors, we are asking to do your best to just be cognizant of what you're doing the 2 weeks leading up to camp, and just following those guidelines from CDC as far as social distancing, proper mask wearing, just to avoid potentially, bringing anything into camp. Prior to us arriving at camp, all campers and counselors, we are requiring a negative COVID test 3 days prior to camp. And then before anybody gets on either however we are going to be transporting them, or if they are arriving, once they arrive at camp, we're going to be doing a second COVID test, and that's going to be the rapid test. And county health is going to allow us they're going to provide us all the tests that we need. So at that point, we'll have a total of 2 negative tests prior to camp starting. And then once kind of skipping ahead of the week, we want to make sure that we send everybody back home to you healthy. So we will also be doing a rapid test again prior to all of us going home. So if for whatever reason something did happen at camp, we can address it prior to someone going home and then potentially bring it home to your family. So those are going to be big steps for us to ensure that we don't bring anything into camp. So while we're at camp, we can have a super clean week, and then ensuring again on the tail end that we send everybody home healthy. So one of the other big changes this year is we are going to be a max of 100 campers. So the reason for that is we are reducing our cabin sizes. So generally we will have a maximum of a total of 10 people in a cabin. It doesn't always get that big depending on our numbers, but we will have anywhere upwards of 6 to 7 campers in one cabin with 2 to 3 counselors. So this year, we are only going to have a maximum of 6 people within our cabins, and that's going to be 2 counselors to 4 campers. And then from there, we're going to be working in pods or cohorts. We're calling them family groups. And a family group will consist of 3 cabins. So a maximum of 18 people, that's including the counselors. The reason for that is, one, the biggest reason is contact tracing. So if for whatever reason somebody is symptomatic or falls ill, we can take them to our camp physician, and they can be, we can triage them and evaluate them. And then now we can, if for whatever reason something were to happen, we can look just at that family group. We know who they've been with. So they're basically, the family groups will be doing all of their activities together, doing all their meals together. They will be spending the week together. So that gives us the opportunity to isolate something if something were to happen, but also limit exposures outside of a family group. And it does afford us the opportunity to do some other activities at camp, to where if we were commingling back and forth between different units and different family groups and cabins like we normally would, that could potentially open up some issues for us. So we want to avoid that. It's going to be a closed camp this year, meaning once we come into camp, and now everybody's been tested twice, we have our family groups established, we are not going to be allowing people in and out of camp. So, you know, sometimes our seniors would go to out camp, so they would leave the Wonder Valley property. They would either go to the lake or the river. They would have their out camp. We're not going to do that this year. We would go to the water park on Thursday. We are not going to do that this year. We can't control that outside environment and people that we may be interacting with. So to ensure that once we're all there and tested, and we are clean and negative tests, that we are just staying within ourselves. So we are going to be a self-contained camp this year. Let's see, family group. So masks, we will be wearing masks. The foundation will be issuing masks to all of our campers and counselors and volunteers that'll be there. And we are going to be issuing masks for every day. So we know that every single day, all campers and counselors are getting a fresh, clean mask. And we're going to have the masks colored. So just throwing out, so if we say Monday, hey, everybody needs to be wearing their blue mask on Monday, Tuesday is going to be a red mask, purple mask on Wednesday, whatever the colors are going to be, just so we know that everybody's wearing the proper mask and it's a clean mask each day. The other opportunity, just so I can step back 1 second, regarding the operating within those family groups and those pods, it does afford us the opportunity to, when we're outdoors doing either field games or activities, mini bikes or go-karts, or if we're in the pool within that family group, we can take our masks off. If we are inside, or we are passing, say we're going from one activity to another and we're passing another family group, or we are going to dinner or lunch or breakfast, we need to be having our masks on, because those are opportunities where we might be passing another group, and we just want to make sure that we are obviously being as safe as possible there. So vaccinations, obviously, like I spoke a minute ago, we understand that most, if not all of our campers won't even have the option to get vaccinated. But regarding our volunteers and our counselors, it is not, we are not requiring our campers or our counselors to be vaccinated. However, depending on how many campers we have, if we have to limit what counselors are coming to camp this year, we will be taking priority to those who are vaccinated. And I can tell you that I know a majority of our counselors already are vaccinated. but we aren't requiring it to volunteer this year. Again, that's why we're going back to the testing component where we're getting 2 negative tests prior to anybody even starting camp. Going through my list here. Okay, so so camp is going to end a little bit different this year. So Wonder Valley Ranch, where we host our camp, they have their summer camps coming in after we leave. So under their current guidance on how they have to basically turn their camp over and clean all their rooms and sanitize common areas, their restrictions are obviously a lot more strict this year. So we back and forth. We want to ensure that we give them the time that they need to turn their camp over. So generally, all of our campers, we wake up Saturday morning, we pack everybody up, we have breakfast, we load on buses, and off we go. This year, we are going to be ending camp on Friday, June 18th. So all of our campers will arrive Saturday as normal on June 12th. And then camp will be ending June 18th. So we will have a morning session on June 18th, and then the afternoon of that Friday, June 18th, is when we will be loading up. And either if you are bringing your child, if they are on Angel Flight, whatever their transportation is, that's when we will be ending camp. That allows us the opportunity from the foundation side to make sure we clean our cabins, we load everything up, and we're out of there, allowing Wonder Valley to then come in and turn their camp over and meeting all of the county health guidelines so they can start their camp. I know I'm throwing a lot at you. I apologize. We will definitely open up for some questions here in a minute. We want to make sure that all of you are completely comfortable with what we're doing and obviously understand what the process is this year. So transportation, I don't know, Apollo, if you want to hit on transportation. I know you've been working on Angel Flight and stuff like that more than I have, so.
Yeah, why don't we save transportation rocks until we get to the camp docs portion of the presentation?
Okay, so we'll hit on that right now. So applications, I know that we have had some applications coming in already. As I stated, our max camper number this year is 100. So if you have not submitted your application yet, I would highly encourage you to submit it as soon as possible. And those applications are due May 12th. So Apollo, do you want to go over that camp docs and the application stuff now?
Absolutely. Before we go on to camp docs, I'm sure a lot of people have questions regarding the modifications during COVID, what we've done as an organization. I just want to take a second before we go into question and answer in this portion to say a few comments. We have taken a lot of consideration when we decided to have camp come back in person. So we are following not only the guidelines of the CDC, the state guidelines, but there are some national and international associations that we also follow. So the American Camp Nursing Association, the American Camp Association, the International Association of Burn Camps. So we have done a lot of work regarding our COVID plan. I also want to say that a lot of things regarding COVID are very polarized for our communities. So depending on where you live, depending on how you believe, you may think our rules or ideas are too strict. Some of you may think they're not strict enough. So I really want you to realize that we are a diverse group of people and that we went through many different chains of command in communicating and drafting this policy. So we really want to provide this as one option, as we will also be talking about our virtual camp experience that you can also partake if you don't feel comfortable in sending your camper to Champ Camp in person this year. There's always something that the foundation will do to support you. So with that in mind, I'm going to open it up to questions. We've been trying to keep track of the questions that are going through chat and making sure that you all understand. I will also say this is one of many different parent groups that we're having. So if you have more questions, we will have them posted on our website, and you can always prescribe to sign up again to have to be a part of this group. But once you're a part of it, once you're not required to come back, but we welcome you for any questions that you might have. So if you want to put your questions in the chat, happy for you to answer those questions. Otherwise, you can unmute yourself and ask the question to Rox or myself about the COVID portion of this before we go into the transportation and camp docs.
Hey Apollo, it's Rodney. I was just wondering, on the camp application, it says to upload your COVID test that's negative. Do we still need to do that if we're gonna be getting COVID tested day of?
Yes, yes. So again, I'll go through the camp doc application process where you will upload your test and all those things will come up. But yes, I will answer that. The answer is yes, but we will go through that when we go to the application process. Any other questions? I do see some questions in Spanish. Margarita, if you can please direct some of your answers to the families and make sure that they also understand. I will also say, in addition to this English parent and guardian town hall, we also will have another one for Spanish speakers to address everything in Spanish. That date is soon to come. But any other questions people have right now based off of what we already communicated?
Yeah, so Daniel, I got a message. I'm sorry if I pronounced the name wrong. Renisha, regarding, she just wanted to ensure. So I know that you have this. So if anybody needed to check in with you to ensure that their application was submitted, since it is a new form, they just want to make sure that would you be the one to go through on that?
Great question. Yes, you can always contact me directly and I can check. You can also reach out to any of your regional managers. Tonight we have, I think, Mackenzie. She was on the call earlier. Mackenzie or Bubbles. Oh, she's there. And Margarita Rodriguez, Cubby, she's here. And then Northern California, Scott Wirtz. You can reach out to them or reach out to me directly and we can confirm. You will receive an email from Camp Docs saying your application has been started. And then you will get constant emails that talk about what things are still needed. It is a new system. That's why we wanted to also have these town hall to go over the specifics of how to do the application. Any other questions? Great question.
Can we submit the application without the healthcare provider form?
Absolutely. So everything regarding your application should be complete with the exception of your negative COVID test results and your health form. If you can get your health form done in time, I've already seen families complete that, great. But in order to be qualified for the first 100 kids, the application needs to be complete besides those two parts. If you are able to get the health form, even better. But at the minimum, everything needs to be complete minus the COVID negative results and your health form from your doctor. I will also say it is a first come, first serve. So all those who are applying now are going to get preferential treatment. Unfortunately, we normally take about 147 to 150 kids each year to come to camp. And unfortunately, this year, we're not going to be able to take all of those. So if you're not going to in-person camp, or we're going to push you to virtual camp, it's also going to be a great experience. And we'll talk about that a little later as well. Any other questions before I move on to showing you camp docs? Cool.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
Well, Jasmine wanted to go in person, but unfortunately she has to go, she's gonna start a college course for summer school, so it conflicts with the camp. So she wants to do the virtual instead of in person. So I registered for the meeting because we thought she was gonna be able to go in person, but things changed.
That's okay. We'll talk about virtual camp also today, because I think that's going to be some questions that some people might have. Today, some people have already decided that their camper is ready to go in person. Some families are, because of timing or because of not feeling comfortable yet, would prefer to do virtual. So we'll be talking about both programs today.
Thank you.
And Randy, I do see your question. It won't let you fully submit. So it won't say their application is complete, or it won't let you send your physical form. I have gotten this actually. I think what you're saying is it won't let you download the physical form. Is that what you're saying, Randy?
So Shendel and I tried to fill out the form the other day, and it goes through, it gives us all the list of all the things that we need, all the documentation and everything. And it tells us that we still need the COVID results and the physician form before we can submit. The submit button is not there.
Are you utilizing a phone or a computer?
This is on a computer.
Oh, interesting. Okay. What I will
Can I
say, Randy, you and I can talk offline, and I can help you tomorrow or whenever you have a free moment and walk you through the process to see what might be. I do know I've had some families email me and say sometimes the physician form won't download. So I've had to email that individually to families, but I will double check, but I'm pretty sure I've already seen Shindel's application.
Oh, okay.
So I will confirm with you individually, but if anyone else has questions like that, happy to talk offline and figure that out. But if that's a common thing, that's also good for me to know so I can talk to our provider. I will say the reason why we went to a different system now, and this will be the system we use in the future for camp, is that once the profile has been created for camp, all you have to do is register your camper for a new session. So then you don't have to constantly fill out an application for the foundation. You log into your new portal, you check to make sure all the information is correct, and then you hit submit. So it saves you time, it saves us time as a foundation, and then you know that your application has been submitted automatically by looking at your portal versus wondering if the foundation ever got your application through the mail or email or fax.
I wanted to share that I'm having the same problem as the person that just spoke. I submitted everything up to the healthcare provider information, and then it won't let me submit.
Great. And I just got confirmation that Shindles is on Camp Docs, and I believe Aiden is as well. So let me confirm. So if any of you have questions on whether your application has been done or at least started, so you don't have to finish the application in one sitting. You can always start it and then stop it and move on. So I think the majority of the questions seem to be about the application. So with just a show of hands, who has not completed their application yet, who might be going to camp? Okay. So let me just go through it real fast and I can show you what the application process looks like and some resources that the foundation has for you. So if you go onto the Champ Camp page on the foundation's website, and you can find us by just going to aarbf.org/project camp, Champ Camp, or just go to aarbf.org, Survivor Services, and then go to our Camps and Recreation page, and it'll take you to this Champ Camp page. This is the announcement that we released last week that camp is actually happening in person and virtually. If anyone has questions on anything that Chris or Rox talked about today, or you didn't hear the full comments that he had said, you can always download this communicable disease plan and read it yourself. We are going to ask all of you to read through it and make sure you understand what's going on, because we want to make sure we have full compliance when we go into mask, social distancing, and other things. We will be posting additional town halls here. Like I mentioned before, if you came today, you're always welcome to come to future town halls. It's never a requirement. This is only for you to ask questions of myself and our camp director, Rox. You'll also find on this page the applications. So the first two are for our camper application and for our CITs, which is our campers in training. So both of those are for the in-person program as well as the virtual program. So Ruth, I know you're talking about, excuse me, Jasmine, she would want to click on this one for virtual camp and fill out that application. If for some reason you click on the in-person camper application, there is a way you can delete your application and always fill out the virtual application. If for some reason you fill out both of them and you need help and you want to decide on one of them instead of the other one, just let us know so we can change it and we'll modify that. Also, just for your records, all of the things that we did last year for virtual camp, whether you're a new family or whether you've been with us for years, all the great videos that we created are still on our website and will remain on our website until we hit camp this year, where we'll do our new virtual Champ Camp 2021. So I'm going to go ahead and log into the Camp Doc website to show you what it looks like. I know right now I'm currently also working on a tutorial video for all of you. So hopefully that will also help you moving forward. So I'm going to go ahead and enter in some information, and I'm actually going to set up an account for the very first time so you can see everything that I'm doing. So for this purpose, you can use your email as a parent or guardian, or you can use a camper email. Any email is fine, as long as you check this email on a regular basis. So I'm going to go ahead and do one for the foundation. And I'm going to make an email or password. And because I have you on a shared screen and I can't see all of you and I can't see the chat right now, if you have a question, please just unmute yourself and I'm happy to answer it as while I'm going, so you don't have to miss anything that I'm doing.
Yeah, hey, Apollo, there's been a couple comments just saying that it got quiet and they're unable to hear. So I can hear you good on my end. Is there anybody else that's unable to hear?
I'm okay. I think I fixed it.
Okay.
Sounds good. Let me know. Feel free to make comments, ask questions, tell a joke. You know, we're camp people. We like to keep it light and fun. We can have some serious times, but we also can have some fun. So I'm going to go ahead and just create a camper profile right now. And I'm just going to name this as Joey. I'm going to say Joey's name is going to be Morales because that's my mom's last name. And that sounds great. Oops, let me put it in the right area though. Anything with the red asterisk next to it means it's a mandatory field. That means you have to fill it out. All right, Joey is going to be on my birthday because that's the best birthday ever, because February 20th is a great birthday. And Joey's going to be born in 2014, right? So I filled out all this information. It's under new participant. If you are a family that has more than one burn survivor, this is a great thing you'll need to know, is that you can add more than one person tied to the same email. So not everyone has to be tied to one email. If you have 2 children or 3 children who might have been burned, you can add them all tied to that one parent email under new participant. Next. And now it's going to ask for the same information. So that's just a little about who I am and what I'm asking. So I'm going to put my name again and who this is for. And this could be for you as a parent, so you can fill this out. This is whoever's in charge of the account. So this is about you. This doesn't have to be about the camper. I'm just going to go ahead and put some information. I'll put tests. That's my email. My phone number is, let's put the foundation 415. Always change that. And then it asks us for a location. You also can prescribe to getting text messages or emails. So if you want to get text message and you prefer to communicate, all you have to do is click yes, and then it will send you a message, right? So I'm going to click no for now, and then you enter your address. So I'm going to put my foundation address where I work, and that's 708 El Cerrito Plaza. And then it will automatically populate. It has all the other fields that I need. El Cerrito, California, that's correct. And then I hit confirm and save. Now my account has been created, and now it's time to register little Joey for a session. I'm gonna click register for new session. Right now, the only sessions that are available right now is for Champ Camp. In the future, we'll have other events. So when you log on for the ski trips, the surf trips, Monterey Bay Aquarium, all of them are going to be listed here, and you'll only see the events for the child that is applicable. So if your child is too old or not old enough, you won't be able to access it. But for today, we're going to register for Champ Camp. I'll hit next. It's going to ask you for the first thing. This platform is asking if the amount we do camp for free. So you'll see the balance is $0. All you have to do is click register. And then it's going to take you to the application. And this is what you should see for your camper. All of these things are items that you need to fill. And the point of this is for you to get all of these items to the green. So it's going to ask for general information, emergency contacts, your camper information. So is it the first time coming? I will say this is a really important part for us for this year. So we didn't talk about this yet, but we are not going to be able to provide vans and transportation because of COVID this year. However, we will be offering, we're asking families if they can drop off their kid, and if they need assistance, we can provide with them a gas card to assist them. If you live too far away and unable or don't have a vehicle and can't come to camp, we will be doing Angel Flight. And if you click Angel Flight, it will ask you some additional questions about where you're coming from and how to coordinate for Angel Flight, as well as an Angel Flight form. If you are brand new to Angel Flight, these are private airplanes that we work with another nonprofit. They're a medical nonprofit that allows us to be able to get kids to camp. And this year they are stepping up and helping us get a lot more kids to camp because of COVID and the lack of transportation. I'm sure there'll be questions about this session or this comment in a few minutes. Other questions on diet, allergies, medications, both over the counter and prescription medications. We have this happen every year. If your child is going to be taking medications, please make sure that you're updating your Camp Docs form so that we know what medications are coming. And please leave the medications in the original bottle with the child's name on it. If you provide the kid a bottle with medications that's not prescribed to them, our medical team will not give those medications out to the family. So please make sure that you're leaving everything in the bottle and that the prescription is for the burn survivor who's coming to camp. It's also going to ask you about your health history, immunizations. All of these things are things that you should be able to enter and complete by the May 12th, as well as in your insurance. The one thing that you will not probably have, some of you have already done it, which is amazing, is this medical form. So all you need to do is download this template. It will come up as a PDF. You will be able to fill out this PDF or print it off and send it to your doctor's office. They will fill it out like they always do for camp in making sure that they sign off the doctor saying that they can come to camp. And then what you will do is you will take that document from your phone or from your computer and you'll just drag it across and you'll drop it into this little red box. The other thing that won't be completely filled out is this section where it's going to ask you to sign on all of these, and you should be able to fill out all of these. And then on the bottom, it's going to ask you to do your negative COVID tests. So these applications are going to get locked. You will see down here, it says dates, May 12th, lockout, May 12th. So once May 12th happens, we will lock all applications and you won't be able to change or modify any of them. We will open the applications up 1 week before camp to allow you to upload all of your medical forms, as well as allow you at that time to upload your negative COVID tests. I mentioned earlier in the chat, we really want you to upload and do your COVID test roughly around Wednesday before camp happens. That will give you time in order to get your test results to make sure that they are in clear for camp. Anything before Wednesday of camp is not going to be within that 72 hours that we're asking for. Anything a little before that 72 hours, if it comes back on Thursday, the test results, it's going to be okay. We'll still take it, but not before Wednesday. So please do your test on Wednesday or as close to Wednesday as you can, because we can't take, if you show up to camp and you don't have your test results, we won't be able to take your camper, even if we do the rapid tests, all right? There has to be 2 tests that are done, both the one that you do at the doctor's as well as the rapid one. All the COVID test sites, if you need help finding a COVID facility in which you can do your test, please let the foundation know, and a regional manager will help you find the closest facility where you can take your child to get tested. We understand this is probably going to be their first time getting tested, but this is the precaution we have to take for this year for camp. So that is Camp Docs. At any point, you can sign out and you can fill out part of it and then come back later and just go to the website and enter into your login and then reconvene and finish what you've already started. All right, so I know that was a lot of information. What questions can I answer about Camp Docs?
I have a
Alicia-
question.
Oh, there you go.
The immunizations form, does that have to be done prior to me submitting the application?
We would prefer that you were able to submit it before, but if it's like your physician form and you can't get records of them, then that's okay. We also understand that some families do not believe in getting immunizations. So if you are one of those families, you can fill out a document and on a Word document or any document that says because of religious reasons or because of ethical or moral reasons we choose to opt out. We just need consent and your name and a signature saying that you will not be submitting them and that you understand that we are asking for them.
Okay, I'm just thinking about, having my doctor, provide that information when I get the health form
Absolutely.
completed.
I totally understand that. I know that families sometimes get it from their doctor. Other families have gotten it from the schools because they've submitted to the schools before, and you may not have records of it. So whatever you need to do, totally able to work with you. Please just communicate to one of your regional managers or to myself so we can know when we can expect it. You may get phone calls. You also may get automatic emails. So part of Camp Docs, they will remind you on a weekly basis, hey, your application's not complete. Hey, your application's not complete. So you may get a few more emails from the foundation, but that's just to let you know what we've received and what we have not received.
Okay, thank you.
There is a question. Is there an option to help with a rental car, using a zip car and gas cards, including their day rental? Absolutely. I don't know if I see Rochelle is still on. Hopefully she's still on. The answer to that, yes.
Still here.
Okay, great. Sorry. Oh, your picture, your beautiful
Yeah.
picture. Yes, we would be more than happy to assist within a rental car process or whatever we need to get you guys to camp. Absolutely.
Okay. Should I just email you or Scott? You?
Either of us, we will. So once we hit that May 12th, why we're doing a deadline a month before camp this year is because we need that whole month to plan logistics on how campers are coming to camp. One of the other things that we have not talked about that we want to mention is we're actually going to be ending camp a little early this year. So we're actually ending camp on Thursday and allowing parents to come on Friday, all day Friday, and only in the morning time on Saturday to come and pick up their camper. This is because we have to do that second COVID or the third COVID test. And we want to make sure that your camper is able to get out safely, and that it gives us more time to plan and to exit out of the camp facility for the next group that comes right behind us. So there'll be more information about what that looks like, but absolutely, we'll be coordinating with you on transportation, and we'll probably try to figure out what's the best time that you'll be coming to camp and that you'll be picking your camper up later. Another question I see is the COVID test needs to be done Wednesday before dropping off camper to submit or submitted by Wednesday. I'm recommending that you do your test on Wednesday so that you get your results by that Saturday. You can do it Wednesday or Thursday. It usually takes around a 3-day is the most I've ever seen for the results within it, but we will take it if it's done on that Wednesday or that Thursday. So please don't do it before Wednesday.
And as long as it is submitted within the proof that that negative test was in that 3-day window prior to camp, that is completely acceptable. I would, when you, I know some facilities will take longer than others, so I would recommend wherever you go in your region, just talk with that facility and see how long will it take. results are coming in quicker now because not as many people are, our numbers are dropping significantly. We don't have the impact that we had, a few months ago. So the availability is there. The amount of people being tested is much lower. So, but I would recommend checking with whatever test facility you're going to use in your region just to see how long it will take to get that result.
Do we still have a question from Elisa?
You don't.
Okay, all right. I just see
I'm
your hand.
good. I don't know how to make it
Sorry.
go away.
I got you. I can lower your hand. Don't worry. One of the other things I'll say is because we're taking all these precautions, we are asking you guys, we can't enforce this. We know we can't enforce this, but we're really asking really nicely. Please do us a favor. Leading up to camp, please do not do any crazy travel. We're doing a suggested quarantine process before camp happens. It would really, really, really suck if your child came to camp and did everything they needed to do, got the negative COVID test, but they show up to camp because they attended a birthday party or they attended a family reunion or went to a big Disneyland or anything else like that, and then came with a positive test. If someone comes with a positive test, unfortunately, we cannot have them at camp. I know, Rox, if you want to also talk about what happens if a camper has a positive test or has COVID symptoms during camp.
Yeah, so this was kind of a big addition to camp this year. We always have a medical, we always have a physician at camp and a medical unit, which has nurses in it. They are the ones who take care of providing your child with their medications each day. Any, if someone is sick at camp, if a fall, a scrape, a cut, something like that occurs, they are there to take care of camp for us. So we, as far as this year functioning under COVID, we're going to have a separate, so we'll have our normal infirmary, but we're also going to have some medical staff set aside for just in case somebody's symptomatic. So we want to take extra precaution this year. Obviously you can have the common cold, but can still show some signs and symptoms that are comparable to COVID. So we don't want to take anything lightly this year. So what we are going to do is, if for whatever reason someone has, and we are going to be doing daily checks within our cabins, just like probably all of us do, if we go into somewhere, they take our temperatures, or maybe at your work or whatever. Every day they have to, take our temperatures. Are you have cough, cold, fever, feeling ill, anything like that. So we're going to be doing that within our cabins. If for whatever reason someone is symptomatic, we will take them to the infirmary. They will wait outside. They will be triaged by our medical staff. If the medical staff feel that the signs and symptoms could potentially dictate needing a test, we will have tests on site that we can do a rapid test. We will isolate them and we'll have separate rooms set aside that no one else is using. So we can isolate them, give them a rapid test. And then depending on those results, if they are negative, then just like we would do every year at camp, if someone is ill, we'll keep them separated until medical staff feels that they are well enough to then go back with camp. If it is a positive test, then we will be contacting you, and we will have to remove the camper or counselor from camp. We can't have, if someone does test positive, we can't obviously keep them at camp. And at that point, we would also be monitoring the rest of their family group to ensure that no one else is sick and that it doesn't obviously spread.
Let's see another question from Maria.
Hi, yes, my name is Maria Lana's mom. My question is, as you already know, she does have seasonal allergies, and that's already an alert because of the COVID questionnaire. Then again, all her tests have been negative, but would this be a concern, or is it just, again, it's just seasonal allergies in general?
So regarding COVID, the allergies has no comparison or results on our end. Shouldn't change the COVID test results or preclude her from coming. We're just asking some additional information this year on our camper form to make sure that we're getting all of the medical history of the campers to make sure that we can better support them if there's medication or other things that they may need. But it shouldn't be an issue regarding COVID and the COVID tests. I answered the question correctly.
Yes, you did, and thank you. Just wanted to leave it out there that there's no confusion with allergies in versus the COVID.
Absolutely. Any additional questions? I would like to show, I'm not sure if anyone here is interested in virtual camp, but we are, if given all the information, and it's a lot to think of. I don't want to give anyone pressure and to say, because we're only taking 100 kids, you have to decide now. This is a huge decision that you may have to think about with your family. So please go ahead and think about what you and your family feel is best. I want to give you a second option, and we want you to know that at the foundation, we love your kids so much. They mean so much to us. I feel, and I know a lot of other counselors who are on this call and the volunteers feel they're almost like a second son and daughter to all of us. So they mean a lot. So their health and safety means a lot. So if you're not comfortable yet in doing in-person camp, I want to give you a second option, and that's our virtual camp. I showed you a second ago everything that we did last year, and we had some great videos. I'm not sure if you guys all saw these, so if you haven't, I really encourage you to check these out, as I really feel like our volunteers and everyone worked really hard to make it a great opportunity. This is a little example of some of the things we did. We had arts and crafts in the Camp in a Box. We had daily messages from our camp director, as well as workout videos. The medical staff did a video each day. Our wellness, which is our therapists at camp and our child life therapists, did videos for us. We had flagpole, which is a tradition we do at camp, woodworking, story time, and then every night we had a virtual opportunity. So if you haven't checked this out, please check it out. It will give you an idea of what virtual camp will look like for this year. Maybe not as intense, as we put a lot of time in that. And right now we're going to be doing virtual camp and in-person camp at the same time. So it would probably be more like 3 to 4 videos each day that will be posted. But again, they'll all be posted here, and we'll be sending the campers a box filled with activities and games and snacks and treats, so they don't feel left out in the experience. So if you're interested in joining virtual camp, all you need to go is click this link. It'll take you to this nice, easy application. And basically all we're going to ask you is some additional information, making sure that we understand who your camper is, if they speak English, if you speak English, where you're coming from, what your emails, what their emails is, the camper sweatshirts or t-shirt size, as well as just getting consent to make sure they understand the guidelines for being on a virtual platform and following along. We know that it's been a lot of Zoom meetings, just like the one we're doing right now, but this is the only way we can communicate effectively what's going on. So if in-person camp is not your thing, there is a virtual camp application, and you should be receiving an email, a phone call, a text message even from one of your regional managers or myself asking you about, is your kid registered for in-person camp? Is your kid interested in virtual camp? I will say, not everyone will be in-person camp, like we mentioned with the 100 kid limit, is that I really encourage you as parents to really encourage your kid not, if they're not making that 100 kid limit to come to in-person camp, is that you encourage them to still participate in the virtual camp. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we know it's not the same as in person, but we really know that this community that we're a part of in terms of the Burn community and the Burn Foundation really means a lot. And we really want them to be a part of that. And we put a lot of time and effort and actually money into what we do. So please know that this is a different option for you, and that we really hope to see your child participate in one of the other. That's pretty much all we had for you today. We'll open up to any general questions.
Yeah, there's a couple questions on here. So I'm guessing Myra had asked when will we be able to submit the application since it's not letting us submit without health form and negative COVID test. When will you be, I'm guessing, and Myra, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm rating that as with the applications closing on the 12th, when will they be reopened to submit that paperwork?
It's not letting me submit it without the health form or the COVID test.
So what it looks like on my end, and I am happy to stay on after everyone is done, is that I'm happy to give you confirmation that your application has been accepted or has been at least started. So I think what's happening right now is people won't let them submit, but everything you've already done for your application has been saved. So I can confirm for Anastasia, her application has been received or it has been started, and we have confirmation for that. Brandy, or I saw for Schindel, her application has been started, and we have confirmation for that. Myra, I can check right now for you guys. Ricardo, his application has been started and has not been submitted, but has been started. So I think the submitted portion is where we're getting tripped up. Your application so far has been started, though. We have confirmation for all of those.
So if it's started, then does that mean like we're in that, first 100 campers that you guys are accepting sort of group, or?
Yeah, once you've completed everything minus maybe the health forms and the COVID tests, yes, you'd be considered part of the 100 group. And then at that point, you'll be getting communication from the foundation asking, how would you like to have your camper come to camp this year? What can the foundation assist you in doing that? And then talking about what time and for the drop off and pick up, figuring out times and what that looks like.
Okay, great.
If I can add one more thing regarding when we will be identifying, and this information will come out, but regarding drop off and pickup times, if you are going to be transporting your child and then also picking them up, we will be putting out like the timelines and the windows and when we'll need that to happen. That just allows us that window of time that and we'll, like I said, we'll push this out once we identify the exact time frame that we need you to drop your child off and pick them up. That we really, really, really ask for your help with this and ensuring that they are picked up within that time frame, so we can assist. One, obviously, we need to get everybody home safely, but to assist Wonder Valley with them being able to turn camp over. So as more information, as we line that out, we'll obviously ensure to get that information to you guys.
Any additional questions? We're looking right now, Maria, just make sure Elena's application is submitted. Ruth, thank you for submitting your application. I see that was just turned in right now. Anyone else have any additional questions?
Would it be possible to check if Ari's application is submitted? Ari Acunas?
Absolutely, we'll look at right now. Anyone else additional questions or want to confirm?
Application for Amari Hawkins.
1 second.
Everything that was spoken at the beginning, can I find it somewhere online? Because I wasn't able to hear the first portion of the meeting.
Absolutely, yes. So this recording that we've done today will be posted on the Champ Camp page. So if you go to the Burn Foundation's website and on the Champ Camp page, you'll find this information, as well as we invite anyone who's still interested in joining any of the future parent Zoom or guardian discussion groups. You're welcome to come back and ask more questions. So even if you have questions, you can email me. Okay. I'll go ahead and can do it. Vasquez was submitted. Jan, the last one was Amari Hawkins. Any other parent want to confirm application started?
Ari Acuna,
Oh, sorry.
ARIE.
Yep, Ari Acuna.
Also for Valentina.
Amari is confirmed. Application has been started. Ari is confirmed. Application has been started. And then the last one is Valentina.
Yes.
And last name?
McKnight.
Yep, application has been started.
Once we send out the application, could we get a confirmation by text messaging you guys, and you guys would be able to let us know?
If you want to send us an email just to confirm that we received it, the way the system works, we don't get notifications. I just have to go through the application to confirm that it's been submitted. So if you just want to follow up with us, feel free to reach out to any of us at the Burn Foundation office and we can confirm that. I see another person for Susanna. Susanna, your application has been started, yes. All right. Well, thank you everyone for being a part of today's call. I want to thank our camp director who's been working tirelessly to make camp happen for all of you guys and to make this experience happen. As I mentioned before, we really do see your children as our children, and we do not take this lightly. The fact that we're having camp in person this year, if anything, it has made us more cautious of how do we protect them and how do we make sure that they're safe. We know so much that people need to be together at this time. It's been a crazy, crazy year, and just know how much the foundation is here for you and how much we care about you. You guys are all so special to us and your families are so special. So please let us know if there's anything that you need meanwhile, but we'll be in communication moving forward. Rox, do you have anything else you want to add?
Thank you all for joining, and just please, if you have questions, reach out so we can ensure that you guys are fully informed and that we're communicating effectively with all of you.
All right.
Thank
Have
you.
a great night, everyone.
Thank you very much.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.